What's good? What's good? It's the one, the only, but what do I know? Boxing coming back at y'all with another one, man. So we got Jermell Charlo in the news today. He has been stripped of the WBA, and now Jermell Charlo holds no titles, I believe, at 154. Jermell Charlo, who was the former Undisputed Champion, who moved up 2 weight classes to fight Canelo Alvarez last September, kind of put up a dud, has now been stripped of all of his titles. Jermell Charlo is no longer a champion. Now, I just actually, during the process of me finding out that he got stripped for the WBA, I didn't know that he was stripped for the WBC. And here's the weird part about that, right? That kind of probably puts more friction between him and his brother Jermall, because how does the WBA strip Jermell Charlo due to inactivity or whatnot, but you allow Jermall Charlo to hold the belt at 160, and Jermell Charlo has fought more recent than Jermall Charlo did. Like, what the hell? Jermall Charlo ain't defended his belt at 160 since 2021, right? Like, but y'all stripped Jermell though. Like, Jermell probably even more salty at Jermall now. Like, what the hell, bro? But all right, but I'm gonna go ahead and read you guys the details, and I'm gonna go ahead and give my 2 cents, and then of course I want to hear your guys' opinion, all right, in the comment section. So make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, take a listen. All right, so shout out to boxingscene.com. It says Jermell Charlo stripped of WBA title. Jermell Charlo has been stripped of his WBA junior middleweight title, meaning the former undisputed champion has lost the last of his undisputed titles. WBA President Gilberto Mendoza informed Dan Rafael of the championship committee's decision to relieve the 33-year-old Charlo of his final piece of title hardware. So dang, I don't remember the WBC. I knew the WBO. We all know that, you know, WBO went to Tim Tszyu. I believe the IBF is up for grabs next weekend, or maybe might be the WBA. I don't know. I'm confused on one, but I believe the IBF. I don't remember the WBC stripping him. No, that's crazy. Charlo is 35-2 with 19 KOs. Now without a belt for the first time since 2019. He hasn't boxed since a lopsided defeat, moving up 2 weight classes to Canelo Alvarez at the T-Mobile in Las Vegas last September. Charlo fought once in 2020, once in 2021, and once in 2022, and Canelo was his only fight last year. Charlo did not defend the undisputed mantle he earned, having to unify against Brian Castano in 2022 in a rematch of their 2021 draw. But while he could still be classed as a lineal champion, the WBA has now officially called him a champion in recess. Charlo has had out-of-ring problems, and having fought Canelo at super middleweight, he had not informed the governing body of his plans, either of fighting again, or if so, what weight class he will return in. As expected, the WBA title will now be on the line this Friday. Okay, so that's the WBA in Saudi Arabia, when Uzbek Israel Mendra, whatever his last name, WBA #1 against Russians Mangomd Kurbakalakabov. All right, so I'm finna see if I can find where the WBA, where the WBC stripped him. I don't remember hearing about that. I'll be damn, I just found it. Okay, here we go. It says, shout out to Boxing News 24. The first one, I don't know if I gave the shout out to Boxing Scene, but the first article I read was from Boxing Scene. It says, throne vacated, Jermell Charlo stripped Fundora versus Bunhacha clash for the WBC junior middleweight crown. Wow, I did not know that Fundora was fighting for the vacant title. Oh, well, that's crazy. Jermell Charlo has been stripped of his WBC junior middleweight title, given the champion a recess tag, and the belt will now be contested over by number 3 Sebastian Fundora and number 2 Sahiri Bunhachak in their fight on March 30th on the Tim Tszyu vs. Keith Thurman undercard on Amazon Prime pay-per-view at the T-Mobile Arena. Charlo hasn't fought 54 for close to 2 years. Wait, what? Charlo hasn't fought at 54 for close to 2 years since his unification with WBO middleweight Brian Castano. Oh, yeah, that was 2 years ago, I guess. Damn, time goes by fast. Yeah, that was 2022 when that happened. Okay. In May 2022, yep. On his social media site, Dan Rafael revealed the news of Jermell being stripped of his WBC 154-pound title. Well, what the fuck about Jermell Charlo? Like, what the hell, bro? Okay, anyways. And the belt being at stake for the for the Fundora versus Bunhachak contest on March 30th. Moreover, the last time Jermell Charlo made a title defense of his WBC title was way back in September 2020 when he defeated Jason Rosario in the by an 8th round knockout. If you're one of the many contenders if you're one of the many contenders in the WBC's top 15 rankings at 154 pounds, it has to be frustrated sitting and waiting for the title shot against a champion who hasn't defended his belt for close to 4 solid years. Well, okay, well, if you're gonna put it in that matter, let's not act like, bro, unifications don't trump mandatory. So he defended his title, but he also unified with Brian Castano. Furthermore, like, you got guys like Canelo, who is undisputed at super middleweight, but yet has not defended any of those titles since becoming undisputed against a legitimate super middleweight. Like, I mean, let's be 100. I mean, John Ryder, yeah, but you know, John Ryder is, come on, John Ryder, like Jermell Charlo, like, come on, bro. But anyways, as such, the World Boxing Council (WBC) decision to strip Charlo and give him the champion recess designation was long overdue, and you can argue that they've been more fair to allow him to hold his belt all this time without stripping him. Some fans believe Jermell Charlo should have been stripped from the WBC ages ago because he's shown much interest in defending against the contender, because he's shown much interest in defending against the contenders in the top 15. At this point, Charlo's career has reportedly only interested in big money fights against big names, so he likely wouldn't have defended his belt against any of the top WBC top tier contenders anyways. He clearly wants lucrative fights against Terence Crawford, or ideally another nice payday clash against Canelo Alvarez, which has zero chance of happening. The Towering Inferno Fundora, who has the record of 20-1 with 13 knockouts, was vicious knocked out in a seventh round last April by Brian Mendoza, and he's not the ideal candidate to be strapping for the vacant WBC at 54-pound title against Bunhachak, whatever, who has the record of 23-1 with 23 knockouts. All right, so basically, Fundora, who I believe is going to get stopped, is going to fight for the WBC title after coming off of a loss. It's not the first time that's happened. AB fought for the WBA title at 140, or I think it was the WBA title at 140 after coming off of his loss with Sean Porter. Like, it's not the first time that's happened. It looks strange that Fundora is given a chance to fight for the belt ahead of some other contenders in the WBC ranking at 154. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about this. Now, I'm gonna be honest, bro. I have my theory, and I had my theory of I spoke on my theory of what I feel like Jermell Charlo is gonna end up doing, because once you get a big payday like that with him and Canelo, if they even paid him, according to what I'm hearing about the PBC, it's almost hard for you to go back, like, to just, you know, having regular fights. I believe. You know, the man has become undisputed at 154, so he definitely made history for himself, being the first in the 4-belt era to do it. So he definitely made history for himself. Congratulations to him. After getting a big lucrative fight with Canelo Alvarez, bro, I don't know, bro. One or two things gonna happen, bro. Like, I feel like either he's gonna come back and he's not gonna really be the same Jermell, because, you know, that all that money and stuff, you know, that hunger may not be there, or, bro, like, it's just gonna be even more inactivity. Because I don't know, bro. I just don't see, personally, I don't see any point in him coming back down to 154. Maybe try to win a title at 160 and then, like, call it a day, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, but if he does want to stay active, I kind of feel like he needs to leave the PBC, bro, because the PBC, their fighters it's just no way their fighters are gonna be active like this, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna do a video. I'm gonna do a video on the PBC and like, or not even just the PBC, but the boxing in general. All these fights going on pay-per-view and all this type of stuff. I'm gonna do a video on that. But I don't really know what he should do next. I mean, if he wants to stay active, that's cool. But I mean, I don't know. I don't really think he has anything to prove at 154 unless he want to fight Tim Tszyu, you know. But either way, it is what it is, man. Former undisputed champion, he still made history. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. Tell me what you think, but what do I know?